Hello guys, welcome back to Sengoku Reaction TV. Today guys, we checking out Shigaraki vs Mahito, My Hero versus Jujutsu Kaisen Death Battle. Now I saw this on my For You page today, and I do watch death battles from time to time, not as much, but from time to time when it pops on my For You page. And this is like an interesting fight. Shigaraki vs Mahito, it look like a real interesting fight. So this is a fight I want to see and see how it goes through. I ain't gonna lie, I put my bets on I don't know. I think Shigaraki gonna win this fight because of how strong he is. Like he go against Deku. I ain't saying Yuji don't got hands, but Deku does more damage. But yeah. If you guys want to see me react to more death battles like reactions, make sure you like, subscribe, and tell me some more death battle fights you recommend me. Let's get into the reaction. So I'll put my bets on Shigaraki. I think that he's gonna win.
Shigaraki versus Mahito.
The symbol of fear versus the human disaster curse.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our
This
job
gonna be
to
a good
analyze
fight.
their
I wanna see
weapons,
who's gonna
armor,
win
and
this.
skills to find out who would win a death battle. Tenko Shimura was just a sweet, shy boy who loved superheroes.
Because it's Shigaraki.
But sometimes the hand of fate can't abide sweet shy boys.
Ruthlessly beaten and abused by his hero-hating father, Tenko pushed beyond his emotional limits until he activated his inherent superpower, or quirk.
It wasn't something cool like flight or super
Yeah.
strength. In his terror, he
Forgot
accidentally
whose
killed
quirk
his
called.
whole family.
He touches
except
stuff
for
and it
Nero
kills.
Dad. That one was intentional.
Tenko wandered the streets alone, silently begging for someone, anyone, to help him. If only a hero was there to save him. But instead, the only open hand he found belonged
Was
to the
All Might.
devil.
All for one. The
Oh, yeah.
greatest super villain in
I just said
history.
All
He
Might.
took
I
Tenko
mean All
under
for
his
One.
wing, feeding a hatred of everyone and everything, and grooming him to one day lead his league of villains in
Yeah, he did.
destroying hero society.
With that came a new name, Tomura Shigaraki, and an absolutely nightmarish quirk, Decay. It
Decay.
does what it says on the tin. Anything
That
Shiggy
quirk is
touches
dangerous,
with all
bro.
5
Like-
fingers turns to dust. The perfect power for someone who just wants to destroy. Pretty menacing, if not for that dorky-ass costume. I get it, hands are his thing, but come on, they just look so dumb and fake.
Oh, those aren't prosthetics. Those are real hands from his family that he killed, attached to his face, and explicitly commanded to be left there by his mentor so that he would never forget his rage.
Okay.
While his use of decay
that's dark.
started off relatively weak, it rapidly increased in power and range as Shigaraki came into his own.
Decay isn't even limited to whatever he's touching. Anything that touches something
You
he's
talking about the,
decaying also
quality too.
decays.
Spreading
At that 4K. You talking about 4K quality?
like an all-consuming miasma that can wipe out anything from an enormous tower to an entire city.
If decay
Yeah, man, we
reaches you,
saw.
your only hope is to isolate the body part that is disintegrating before it gets to something vital.
After years of training with the greatest supervillain of all time, Shigaraki was finally put in charge of his own team with one mission. He must kill his master's rival, the #1 hero, All Might.
Only to fall flat on his face.
Shigaraki was a terrible leader, quick-tempered, short-sighted, and, well,
Cringe! Oh, he's just so cringe. He uses gamer lingo unironically. He whines like a baby when things don't go his way. He's the kind of guy who would say normie
he is a
in
crybaby.
real life, in front of normies.
but they say defeat is the greatest teacher of all. Only through struggle could Shigaraki manifest his dark conviction.
Right as All Might's new protege, Izuku Midoriya, was coming into his own as well.
These two rivals, the inheritors of
This
the
was a good
master's
fight
blood
during the
feud,
manga.
would push themselves past their own limitations.
Especially when All Might and All for One double KO'd each other, leaving Shigaraki to lead the League of Villains all by himself.
And with the stakes higher than ever before, Shigaraki stepped up. He personally battled the monstrous Gigantomachia for a month and a half straight, and conquered other villain organizations to create the Paranormal Liberation Front. Thousands of new soldiers for his personal army.
All to impress All for One's personal quack. Dr. Ujiko, who spent months upgrading Shigaraki's body to make it more like his sensei's. It might have been constant agony, but Shiggy went from Chud to Chad.
Ujiko's experimentation vastly increased Shigaraki's strength, speed, and durability, enough
Hell
to
yeah,
match
dude.
and surpass even All Might's absurd power.
Sharing All Might's power between them, Deku and Bakugo were able to punch an island-sized hole in a cloud that reached 24 miles into the sky. We've calculated that
That was
before
a-
to be nearly 80 million megatons of TNT.
Hey, but it
almost
was
as much
one
as
at
the
it.
meteor that wiped out the dinosaurs.
And Shigaraki can now move fast enough that his body produces hypersonic shockwaves and can even catch
And you gotta
laser
remember,
beams.
these
And
two
he's
are
tough enough to
fighting.
survive Star and Stripes Intercontinental Ballistic Cruise Punch. Now the new name for my penis. Move over, gigantic Omega Storm. Anyway, it also made a blast so big it showed up against the curvature of the Earth.
Though he might
How's
seem
Mahito for the
invincible,
fight against
when
this?
Shigaraki's body is pushed hard enough, he will evolve into a state of uncontrollable power.
So Decay became, oh shit, more hands.
Shigaraki can spontaneously generate flesh into existence, seemingly oceans of it in an instant, whenever he wants. He can even use it as a type of armor to defend
This
himself in
nigga,
close combat.
what?
But that's nothing
That is
compared
a
to
horror
Ujiko's
story, bro. I
greatest
don't wanna
gift.
fight that.
Shigaraki wanted to be the new All for One. So what better way than the old man's quirk?
All for One's quirk, All for One,
One.
allows its user to steal and store quirks with just a touch.
And All for One has hundreds of them stored up, collected over the years.
Each quirk is connected to a memory of its user's essence in the form of a spirit, a vestige.
Kinda like a piece of their soul. They exist in this kinda psychic world in Shigaraki's body and can even act as a spiritual
man is
defense should it be invaded.
Creepy,
And with
bro.
those vestiges came quirks like
I feel
super fast
scared
healing,
watching
air
this, bro.
blasts,
What the
radio
heck?
waves, flight,
This man is
telekinesis,
creepy.
teleportation of others, and the ability to track foes.
He can even combine multiple quirks together, like in this
What?
big-ass electric Kamehameha.
However, any vestige stolen or destroyed will also remove that quirk from Shigaraki's repertoire. They're also sentient, and some can even fight for control.
Which is when the second shoe finally dropped. Because Shigaraki also got All for One's vestige, that means All for One was now in possession of a shiny new body that he'd spent the last 15 years molding for him to take over.
Shigaraki's entire existence was planned from the beginning. Why? Because All Might's previous mentor was Nana Shimura, Tanko's grandmother.
Oh, that to mess with All Might. That is some next level hating right there.
He
What?
manipulated Shigaraki's entire life, all for one purpose: to create a soul so corrupted it would grind away at All Might's perfect world, allowing All for One to take full control.
But All for One's possession wasn't complete, and Shiggy managed to fight his way back to the top, literally decaying his way through vestiges in the process, all to fight his rival Deku one last time.
Despite Izuku's best efforts to save him, Shigaraki was too far gone. His spirit decayed.
And they
by
boy, they
years
went
of
at
vicious
it, bro.
And the new symbol of hope defeated the new symbol of fear, burying All for One's grudge for good.
All that Shigaraki asked was to be remembered as the heartless destroyer he was raised to be, and not the broken, angry, crying little boy he really was deep inside.
For just that one moment, though, Shiggy got in Deku the only thing he'd been denied his whole life, the one thing his lifelong nihilistic tantrum was really all about.
A happy
He
ending.
got a hero who tried to save him.
Damn.
This battle is
Shigaraki
Ever
is
since
tough.
Cain slew his brother Abel and wetted his fields with his blood, man's greatest fear has been his fellow man.
But what if this fear took on a life of its own?
What if all that negative emotion humans felt for one another spilled from their bodies and congealed, forming, over time, a living being fueled by malice, which believes in nothing but the law of the jungle?
Well, then you'd have the special grade curse with a patch face, Mahito. Oh, I've had people tell me I've become a human disaster curse when I've had too many mojitos.
Mahito is one of the deadliest beings to
Patch
ever
face.
afflict mankind. He's no mere mortal, though,
few
but
months
a
old.
cursed spirit. Innumerable spirits
the leader of the
exist,
disaster
weaker
curse.
or stronger depending on the amount of anxieties, jealousies, hatreds, and fears humans feel about them.
Like the fear of locusts, kinda weak. Or the fear of smallpox, getting stronger. Or the fear of fire. Oh, goodbye, Tokyo.
So it
like
follows that
Chainsaw
mankind's
Man.
fear of itself would be extremely powerful. Those negative emotions manifest as Mahito, a being composed of cursed energy.
It's basically like evil ki. Cursed energy can be used to make spirits way stronger, faster, and tougher than any normal human. And it's invisible, making curses like Mahito impossible for the untrained eye to see. Only a life or death situation can galvanize a normal person to see a cursed spirit.
That also makes cursed spirits virtually immune to physical damage. They may be physically present in space, but can only be harmed by attacks that embody spirit matter like cursed energy.
Which makes
Invisibility.
curses insanely hard to get rid of, like ghosts, cockroaches, or my ex.
Black
That's why
flies,
you need a
yeah.
jujutsu sorcerer to come in and kaizen the shit out of them. They call it exorcism, but I like the way I said it better.
Curses and sorcerers have battled each other for millennia, waging an endless war over the fate of humanity.
Hey, they
Almost
were
exclusively
fighting,
in
though.
Japan,
They
though,
were
for some
fighting,
reason.
though.
But Mahito was special. You see, most curses are basically dumb animals, but Mahito has so much cursed
Hey, that man
energy
crazy.
that it gave
Mahito
him
is
sentience.
So he was
insane.
recruited by Kenjaku alongside other special grade disaster curses
Dragon.
to wreak havoc upon the world. In fact, they made Mahito their leader.
And even more frightening than intelligence and bloodlust, Mahito possessed philosophy.
Perhaps informed by the tragic meaninglessness of interhuman conflict, Mahito is an existential nihilist, believing in nothing but his own will to power. It's a dog-eat-dog world, and Mahito is the wolf.
Which also makes him kind of a goofball.
These two really
If
work the
nothing
same, like, they
matters,
both
why
take
not
each other,
have
they
fun
did.
with the slaughter? Really get your steps in. He loves to dig around and toy with your emotions like a cartoon character before slitting your throat.
An appropriate analogy considering his curse technique, idol transfiguration.
Using his cursed energy, Mahito can control anyone's soul with just a touch, including his own. In fact, he's so good at manipulating his own soul that you can't even kill the bastard without directly targeting it.
In Jujutsu Kaisen, the soul and the body share an immutable connection. Whatever happens to the former affects the latter.
Wow.
This lets Mahito squash, stretch, and shape-shift his body into literally anything he wants, like Play-Doh. He can
He's
turn
tough
his
with it,
limbs
too.
into blades
He's
or
tough with it,
clubs,
too.
grow wings like a bird or fins like a fish, reform his body around injuries, or even create clones.
Curse users are naturally unharmed by their own ability. Should he touch a human, though, his alterations to their body are instantly
That
fatal.
sword was still
And
nasty.
since
to
he's
this day.
attacking your
I
soul,
don't like that
those
sword.
physical wounds are gonna be impossible to heal.
Even if his alteration isn't directly fatal, the human body won't last more than a few moments in a transfigured state.
All that with one touch. God, I thought herpes was bad.
His powers mean
Don't show me that,
Mahito
bro.
treats humans as effectively disposable dolls that he can gleefully experiment on. The more casualties, the better, especially if he gets to break your spirit.
But notice how they're not
first and watch
showing
him
no
suffer.
damage.
Even more
They
twisted
ain't
is
showing
when
no
he combines two
TNT
transfigured humans
comparisons.
together for
Notice how they
soul
ain't showing no
multiplicity.
TNT?
Essentially a giant torrent of body horror flesh that he
Ain't
repels
showing
at
like
an
no
opponent.
TNT
Yeah.
comparisons.
Mahito is unbelievably creative with his application of idol transfiguration, and despite being a newborn curse, consistently keeps experienced sorcerers on the back foot.
It helps that he's a quick study who's picked up a number of different curse techniques, like the Black Flash.
By applying cursed energy within 1 microsecond of an impact with an enemy, space itself will distort, exponentially amplifying its force by a factor of 2.5.
Not only does this hurt like a mother, it restores your curse technique and gets you fully in the zone.
And would require reflexes
basically like
nearly
a-
1,000 times the speed of sound. It's no surprise then that Mahito also unlocked the pinnacle of sorcerer techniques, the domain expansion.
Oh,
Like
shit.
getting hit by, like,
More
Mike Tyson.
hands. A domain is like a barrier
Two Mike
of cursed
Tysons in the
energy.
stomach.
But if you're caught inside, Mahito can use idol transfiguration instantly without even needing to touch you.
It's called the self-embodiment of perfection.
Domain
the
expansion.
ultimate expression of Mahito's absolute control over his victim's body and soul. The only time it ever failed was against the student sorcerer and Mahito's archenemy, Yuji Itadori.
Because not only was Yuji a barf-inducing goody little two-shoes who believed in the inalienable rights of all living things, blah, 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 he also had a curse inside of him.
The king of curses, Sukuna.
Sukuna.
Which meant Mahito's ability affected both souls in Yuji's body. Sukuna didn't like that. No surprise, and kicked Mahito's
Don't ever
ass,
touch my body,
forcing
boy.
Patchface to fight with a handicap whenever facing his pink-haired menace.
Yuji's belief in the value of human life flew directly in the face of the world that Mahito knew to be cruel and meaningless.
Mahito is
So he made it his
crazy,
mission
bro.
to crush Yuji's spirit before killing him, murdering his friends, defiling their corpses, and brutally battering him before going in for the kill.
And he's got the strength to do it. Mahito's one of the most powerful curses in the world, and his growth is exponential.
Fellow disaster curse Jogo was able to summon a massive meteor
So he's stronger
capable
than
of reducing
Jogo?
the city of Shibuya to
But he's stronger than
ash.
That'd take an
JoJo?
energy of over 800 kilotons of TNT.
And Mahito can take as good as he can give, especially when in the throes of struggle
He's
against
stronger
Yuji,
than
he
Jogo. I thought
evolved,
Jogo was the
unlocking
strongest.
a vastly more powerful form, the instant body of distorted killing.
Complete with armored exoskeleton and arm blades. This was a taste of the almighty curse Mahito was growing into. A true blight on all mankind.
It wouldn't last. In a bitter battle of resolve, Yuji won out.
And
In a
out victory.
dog-eat-dog world, there was now a bigger wolf.
So he tucked tail
The
and ran
coldest,
away like a
the
bitch.
coldest scene
What
in
do you
anime
know?
history, bro.
Life
One
suddenly
of the
became a
coldest
whole
scenes
lot
in
more
history.
meaningful the second it looked like it was about to end.
All that gleeful nihilism, just a
And that's
bitter
it.
hypocrisy in the end.
For him, maybe, but Mahito found a convert in his archenemy. After a battle that wiped out thousands of innocent people, Yuji's youthful spirit was gone. The only thing left that mattered was exorcising this curse.
In a way, that was Mahito's final victory, the destruction of another human being's soul. He may not have been around to see it, but the curse Mahito inflicted on the world would bring it to its knees.
Now let's see how this fight going on. Ooh,
Hey,
I
do
ready
you
to
see
see
that
this.
champion? All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time
All
for
right,
our
let's
death
go.
battle!
Death battle. Let's see who's gonna win this. I stuck in my best on Shigaraki. I still play my best on Shigaraki. Okay.
I'd heard of a powerful villain stalking these parts. My organization is going to tear this putrid world down around us. We could use a freak of your talents.
Little old me. Do I want to be king of the social rejects? How about I bring them your head instead?
Fine by me. Let's call this your audition. Sick 'em.
Okay. My move. Come on, come on. Ooh. They're dead.
Game over.
Okay. Okay, dang. My boy went to a crisp.
Did you actually just say that? God, how lame!
Dang, giving them boy combos.
Audition over. Did I get the part?
Okay. Yeah, Mahito can't touch him either. Both of them can't touch each other. Flat flash.
What a rush!
Come on, Shigaraki. Oh, he got touched. Black Flash.
That all you got?
Domain expansion.
I forgot about the domain. I forgot about that domain expansion.
I can read your soul. You're just a scared little boy whose daddy was mean and wants to make it everyone else's problem. Grow up.
Hands off my masterpiece.
What?
I felt your soul too. You only hate humanity because you were born that way. Totally random.
Hey man, I don't know Shigaraki gonna win, but that's kind of some bull. The head run.
You grow up.
What did I say,
Dang.
Wiz? Like a bitch.
With their
That
complex
was a good
power sets,
fight.
this match was a puzzle to figure out, which is why we're breaking it down to 3 categories: physical stats, survivability, and their powers.
But first, let's address one thing. Could Shigaraki even see Mahito? He's an invisible curse after all.
Cursed energy and quirks are notably different, and Shigaraki wouldn't be able to see curses normally. However, even regular humans can spontaneously develop the ability to see curses in life and death scenarios. And with the Search quirk, Shigaraki would have had no problem tracking it.
So seeing Mahito wouldn't have been an issue. With that out of the way, we can jump into their stats.
This was no contest. Despite the disaster curses being able to destroy entire cities with their cursed energy, Shigaraki scaling to Deku and Bakugo meant he was calculably millions of times stronger.
He was faster too,
Okay, that's fair, that's
considering
fair.
he could react to light beams, while Mahito's Black Flash capped out at nearly 1,000 times the speed of sound. Nothing to scoff at, but Shiggy was thousands of times faster. Shigaraki takes stats.
But survivability was a little trickier to figure out.
Yep, in terms of raw durability, Shigaraki was a lot tougher, and his ability to generate new flesh meant that he could heal any wounds he might receive super easy.
However, Mahito is a curse and is immune to the kind of overwhelming physical damage Shigaraki could dish out. Not only that, Mahito's regenerative ability via idle transfiguration meant that he'd come back from anything short of spiritual damage.
Considering Mahito's unique curse body, he should actually get the edge in survivability.
Which presents a crucial question. Could Shigaraki even kill a curse like Mahito in the first place?
Or would Mahito's unkillability give
I mean, it
him the
makes
time
sense.
he needed to eventually put Shiggy down
Yeah.
with idle transfiguration?
It all comes down to their powers.
Shigaraki had a lot more variety with all of the crazy quirks All For One had collected over all the years, but none that we know of could properly kill a curse. That didn't mean idle transfiguration was a surefire bet either though.
Of all things, Shigaraki's vestiges served as a spiritual shield from the effects of idle transfiguration. The fact that Mahito could not avoid targeting Sukuna while attacking Yuji meant that he couldn't target specific souls inside a person.
And Shiggy has hundreds of soul-like entities inside of him. Sure, each one down means he loses a quirk, but that's more than enough time to land a single hit with Decay, especially considering how much faster Shiggy is.
And Mahito has no way to defend against Shigaraki's primary quirk. Decay has affected spiritual beings in the past. Again, vestiges. In fact, he was able to damage Deku's vestige and have that damage transferred to the Deku in the real world.
Mahito may be made of spirit energy, but he still has a physical
I mean,
form.
I already knew
In
Shigaraki
fact,
won. I bet it on
sorcerers that
Shigaraki
couldn't
winning.
naturally
You
target
know,
the soul
video first
were able
started.
to fight him
I
on
still
even
don't
footing.
understand
No
how
reason to
All
think
For
Shiggy
One
wouldn't decay him like
popped up
everyone
like
else.
Sukuna
Giving
someone something
Shigaraki
no.
the third and final edge.
Nah.
It was a unique duel to the death, but Shigaraki's overwhelming might, unstoppable powers, and deadly decay spelled the end for the disaster curse.
Hey, that
Nothing
domain
else to
special was
say.
clean
You
though.
really gotta
That
hand
domain
it to
special was clean
Shigaraki.
though.
The winner is Tomura Shigaraki.
Next
Oh, next
time
time,
on Death Battle.
who's fighting next? Doom? No, yeah, Doom versus.
Subscribe
Master Chief.
and join as a member.
I already did this fight before. If I'm not mistaken. Hey, this was an interesting fight. One thing I don't understand about it though is like, how did Shigaraki, not Shigaraki, but Mahito lose that domain expansion to One For All? when, I mean, honestly, the spirits and stuff inside the body, so it stopped him from doing that. But why did he pull up like he was Why did he pulled up like he was Sukuna? Like, nigga, one for all. You're not Sukuna. No, all for one. Yeah, all for one. You're not Sukuna. But this was a good death battle, man. I knew Shigaraki was gonna win. I knew Shigaraki was gonna win. Like, as soon as he went to Mahito and he didn't talk about no TNT impact moves, I was like, you know what they doing. You know, Mahito's win this fight. I know Mahito was gonna win this fight, man. But it was still a good fight though. I still enjoyed this battle. I'm ready for the next one. Also, like I said, guys, recommend me some more death battle because I didn't see all the death battles. I seen like some here and there. If I have seen them, I will tell you in the comments if you do recommend me. If I haven't, I'll watch them and react to them. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. This is Sengoku TV. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.